everybody, and welcome to this episode of our Realistic American Park. In last episode, we left off with just the entrance plaza started, and in this episode, we're going to start working with the rides. The first coaster we're going to be putting into the park is a roller coaster loosely based off of Dip the Dips at Cedar Point, which was opened in 1908, and then they did actually close down in 1917. It's a very loose representation of the ride. It's not meant to be a recreation. It's made with the limitations of Planet Coaster, so things aren't necessarily 100% accurate to what it would have looked like at Cedar Point or at any other park that built one. Alright, so here we go. So while we're building this coaster here, let's go ahead and talk about what our plans are for this park, kind of what our thoughts are on what we're going to do with this park in this episode, in this series. What happens at real amusement parks, so there will be rides that we build that end up getting torn down later to make room for other rides. So this will be a continuously changing park, not something where we build it and it's there forever. So, like, these rides that we're putting in now may stay here, they may get tore down, they may get moved. Likely tore down. As this park evolves. So, thank you. Alright, and then, so this ride will probably only last a few episodes before we find something else to go here, but for now, it is here. It was only at an actual park for a few years. So we'll see. Alright, so the next attraction we're going to start putting on here is just like a Midway carousel. There's nothing really fancy with this. Just going to kind of be somewhat on the midway, and we're going to kind of build a little bit of a garden around it and a nice building. Nothing fancy. We're not going to spend too much time talking about this ride. It's just a carousel. Similar to one at other parks. Alright, so during that brief time lapse, we did a little bit of decorating, and we got a station building built, and the covers on the top of the lift hills built for this older cut ride. And now we're going to kind of go into a ride-on of the ride, and then move on to another roller coaster at this park. And then the next ride we're going to put in here on this episode, and this will be the final ride we put in on this episode, is going to be a roller coaster based on the Cyclone coaster that was at Cedar Point and many other parks. This coaster can actually still be ridden at some parks. There are a few parks that still have this coaster, but it's a very big coaster, so we're going to spend a lot of time on this. So we're going to go into a time lapse now. You can kind of look up a little bit of the history. Cyclone at Cedar Point was opened in 1929, and it was 72 foot tall. And then that didn't actually close until 1951, so it was running for almost 30 years. during that brief time lapse, we got the ride completely built and got a station bill. Now we're going to go ahead and take a ride on the ride. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I think this is going to go ahead and wrap up the episode. We'll see you here again next time. Thank you, and enjoy this ride.